Hello and welcome back to our channel. Today, we will be diving into a topic that many spiritual practitioners face at some point in their journey, the feeling of regression in their practice. Have you ever wondered why, despite your best efforts, it sometimes seems like your practice is not progressing, or worse, that you are moving backward? Perhaps this is a part of your journey that you've encountered but haven't been able to understand. Well, in today's video, we are going to explore an important concept in Buddhist teachings that may offer Claire the idea of an auspicious sign during periods of spiritual regression. Spiritual practice is often perceived as a linear progression, a steady climb towards enlightenment, peace, and wisdom. However, in reality, the path is more like a spiral, with moments of growth intertwined with periods of apparent stagnation or even regression. The question then becomes, how do we understand and navigate these challenging times in our spiritual lives? What does it mean when we feel like we are regressing, and why is this a necessary part of our growth? In the Buddhist tradition, the concept of an auspicious sign during times of perceived spiritual regression offers a profound perspective. It suggests that periods of difficulty, confusion, or emotional turmoil are not signs of failure, but rather essential milestones in our journey toward deeper wisdom and compassion. Instead of seeing them as setbacks, we are encouraged to view them as opportunities for purification and transformation. This idea might seem counterintuitive at first. After all, how can moments of struggle, doubt, or difficulty be considered auspicious or beneficial? To answer this, we need to understand how Buddhist teachings view the process of inner transformation. In Buddhism, spiritual progress is not about a constant, unbroken ascent, but rather about overcoming obstacles, confronting our deepest fears and attachments, and learning to face the impermanence and suffering inherent in life with a calm and compassionate mind. When we experience what feels like regression in our practice, it is often because we are being confronted with aspects of ourselves that we have not yet fully understood or integrated. These might include unresolved emotions, fears, or attachments that have been hidden in the depths of our subconscious. Buddhist teachings refer to these as defilements or kleshas, which can manifest as negative emotions, desires, or habitual patterns of thought that keep us trapped in suffering. However, encountering these defilements during our practice is actually an auspicious sign. It means that we are ready to confront and release them. In many ways, these moments of spiritual regression or difficulty are actually moments of deep purification. They allow us to examine our inner world more closely, identify the sources of our suffering, and take steps toward healing and liberation. Let's consider an example from the life of a Buddhist monk. In his early years of practice, she felt that his meditation was bringing him closer to enlightenment. He felt peaceful, connected, and clear-minded. But as time went on, he began to experience what seemed like an increase in his inner turmoil. Old anger, jealousy, and attachment resurfaced, and he began to feel disheartened, as though he was slipping backward. Despite his efforts to maintain a sense of peace and mindfulness, he struggled with these emotions, and it felt as though his progress had stopped. He became frustrated and even questioned his commitment to the practice. But then, under the guidance of his teacher, he realized that these emotions were not signs of failure. They were a natural part of his purification process. The defilements that had been lying dormant were now surfacing so that he could acknowledge and transform them. Through deep reflection and guidance, she began to see these moments of difficulty as an integral part of his spiritual growth. By facing his emotional struggles with awareness, she was able to release them and make space for greater peace and clarity. Over time, she realized that this regression had been a crucial part of his development, allowing him to deepen his understanding of the impermanent and interconnected nature of all things. This story illustrates an important point, that what we perceive as setbacks are often, in fact, signs of progress in disguise. In Buddhism, it is not the absence of difficulty that signifies spiritual progress, but our ability to meet challenges with a clear mind, a compassionate heart, and a commitment to transformation. Just as gold must go through the fire to be purified, so too must our minds go through difficult experiences to be purified and refined. There is a powerful analogy in Buddhism that compares the spiritual path to the process of polishing a mirror. At first, the mirror is cloudy and unclear, much like our minds filled with ignorance, attachment, and delusion. Over time, through practices such as meditation, mindfulness, and ethical conduct, the mirror is gradually polished, revealing a clearer and brighter reflection. However, this process is not always smooth. There may be moments when the mirror seems to get dirtier, when we encounter even more of our unresolved emotions or deep-seated fears. But these moments, far from being signs of failure, are simply part of the polishing process. They are necessary for the mirror to become truly clear and luminous. The concept of auspicious signs in Buddhism teaches us to embrace these moments with patience and equanimity. Instead of seeing difficulties as obstacles to our progress, we are encouraged to see them as opportunities for growth. This shift in perspective is crucial for sustaining our practice over the long term. When we view challenges as an inherent part of the spiritual path, we can approach them with a sense of openness and acceptance, knowing that they are leading us toward deeper wisdom and understanding. Furthermore, it's important to recognize that spiritual regression is not an indication that we are failing or falling behind. It's simply a reflection of the ebb and flow of our inner world. Just as the seasons change, so too does our inner state. There will be times of great clarity and peace, followed by times of difficulty and challenge. This is the natural rhythm of life, and understanding this can help us avoid getting discouraged when we feel like we are not making progress. In fact, many great spiritual teachers have spoken about the importance of patience and perseverance in the face of difficulties. They remind us that the path is not about achieving perfection, but about continually striving to be present, to remain open, and to respond to life with compassion and wisdom. Even when we feel like we are regressing, we are still on the path, still learning, still growing. One of the most profound teachings in Buddhism is the understanding that suffering is not something to be avoided, but something to be embraced. Suffering, in this context, refers to the challenges and difficulties that arise in our lives, including the moments of perceived regression in our practice. These experiences are not burdens, but invitations to awaken, to see the impermanence of all things, and to deepen our compassion for ourselves and others. When we approach suffering with this mindset, we are able to transform it into a source of wisdom and strength. As you reflect on your own spiritual journey, remember that moments of difficulty or regression are not setbacks but opportunities to deepen your understanding. They are part of the natural process of purification and awakening. Embrace them with an open heart, knowing that you are moving toward a greater state of peace, wisdom, and compassion. Thank you for watching today's video. I hope that this exploration of spiritual regression as an auspicious sign has provided you with some new insights and encouragement for your practice. If you've experienced similar challenges in your own journey, I would love to hear about it. Please share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to support our channel. Until next time, may you continue on your path with patience, understanding, and unwavering determination.